Hey, this is Tony. Welcome to the Catechism Corner. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about love, our first lesson in life that we need to learn. So let's go ahead and start off with a dictionary definition that we can explore. Love, as you can see, we're going to put it as a noun. It's a profoundly tender, passionate affection for another person. They have a second definition of a feeling of warm personal attachment or deep affection for as a parent, a child, or a friend. So when we look at this definition, let's take some considerations on love. Truth be told, it is easier for women to learn life's first big lesson of love than any man. When a woman gives birth to her first baby, they will hold that child for the first time. At that moment, she will experience the purest form of love. This great lesson in love becomes a major point of reference for her. This means that when she seeks love from her spouse or other family members, she will be measuring it to what she experienced in that exact moment of, first contact with her baby. Now, for men, it's not at such a large level, okay? But we experience it in some level. When a man first holds his baby, he feels his immediate role of provider, protector, and disciplinarian take on a new meaning for him. These are natural instincts given to us by God. The strength of a man's love can hardly be measured when it comes to defense of his family. Most men would be willing to put their lives on the line for their family. I say most. I don't know because I can't speak for all men. I can speak only for myself. So what are some roadblocks, to this lesson that we have to learn of love? Well, in today's time, we tend to romanticize love, because of what we see on screens. Okay? Women look to be courted romantically, but that's a misnomer for both men and women. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying romance is wrong, but we need to be flexible on our expectations. When two people meet, the expectation is some sort of spark, or at least, people want it to be that way because that's what it shows inside of movies like what you see on the screen now. Let's be realistic though for a moment. Look at the attraction from a physical standpoint, but also a person's ideal match. When the first look happens, it's obvious physical, there's some sort of physical attraction. Most times a man will objectify a woman based on their looks. There's a video on YouTube that you can look up. It's called The Hot and Crazy Matrix. Okay, that demonstrates this wrong thinking, and it negates the very aspect of love. Women also have done a similar matrix to counter that one for men, based on hot and money. So, do you see a common theme between those two videos? Well, if you haven't noticed it, but both of them are reducing the other to an object of their own affection. When that happens, any form of love is really diminished in capacity, and that breeds a lack of respect for the human dignity, or also known as self-worth of a person. This level of attraction is known as lust, and has little to do with actual love. let's go ahead and define lust as intense sexual desire or appetite. So let's take a closer look at what we mean by looking at basically the 10 Commandments from, the Jewish, the Catholic, and the Protestant traditional writings. In the table shown, we can zero in on the actual commandments 8 and 9 and 10. With this little red box that we have here. Look closely and notice how the Catholic versions in the middle here, okay, is different from the other two. The Jewish ones are considered the original form of the actual 10 Commandments. And since Christianity was born out of the Jewish faith, the Catholic faith combined Commandments 1 and 2. So if you look at number 1 and 2 in the Jewish faith, we effectively combine them into Commandment 1. Okay? As basically they are saying the same thing. That there's only one God, and that we don't need to hold anything else before Him. Like they say, idols and such. Okay? So, but then that leaves room. Okay? That leaves us room down at the bottom in the Catholic tradition. What we've done, as you can see here, is we've taken what is basically here in number 10 and we split it off into two. Number 10 basically says you shouldn't envy your neighbor's wife or his goods. So basically that's don't envy your neighbor's goods, as what they're saying here. You shall not covet anything that belongs to your neighbor. Well, the Catholics, as Catholics, we actually separated the two out. Because what we came to recognize is that a person's husband or wife is not a piece of property. We have to understand that concept. That when we make a person into nothing more than a piece of property, we're diminishing our actual love for that person. And this is all based on, really, when you think about it, is Jesus and what He actually said. Okay? Jesus said, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. In Matthew chapter 22, verse 39, as the second part of the greatest commandment. This commandment actually promotes love for all people. And when you combine wife and goods into a single commandment, you're basically equating those two together. When that's not what Jesus was trying to get at for those commandments. Jesus wanted us to separate things out. So, let's go ahead and look at another example based on love. Okay? 1 Corinthians. St. Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7, love is patient, love is kind, love is not jealous or boastful, it is not arrogant or rude. Love does not insist on its own way, it is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrong, but rejoices in the right. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. When you read that passage and let it really sink into every fiber of your soul, you see the truth about love. You saw it in an earlier lesson about sin, and that it equals selfishness. Well, simply put, love is a direct opposite. And if your true and thoughtful actions are born from love, then there's no room for actual sin. Love is equal to a selfless sacrifice or willing the better of another person. That is why we say God is love, because God is always willing the better of all of us. Hopefully this helps you out with thinking further and deeper on the true lesson of love in our lives. I definitely thank you for all that for joining here, and I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel below and click the notification bell for when we upload new content. Thank you for your valuable time, and may God bless you always with love, laughter, and memories for eternity. And have a wonderful day.